Well, hello guys, and welcome to the first E3 Thoughts On video for 2016. The first conference started today, Sunday, June 12th, with EA's conference this morning, and I just finished a few minutes ago, and let's look at it. A lot happened, really. So basically, they started off. They did this whole thing where they had like two streams, one in London, one in California. It was kind of neat, kind of pointless. I don't know. And then they started, and yeah, so Titanfall 2, which they announced it's going to come to PS4, which. Okay, that makes perfect sense. They had new things like a grappling hook, which was interesting. I saw teleportation at one point. That was nice. Well, kinda. Now, let me give you a little perspective here. I played the original Titanfall on the Xbone. I was interested in it. I played the beta. The beta was what hooked me, because I thought that was really interesting. So when it came around to the actual game, I picked it up and I was I liked it. I did like the original Titanfall, but I played it for like a week and then never touched it again. Okay, maybe a little longer than that. It was cool, but it just couldn't hold my interest. It lost me really fast. I did the campaign, I did some online, campaign, quote unquote. I don't even know what the story was. Something about a rebellion or something. I don't know. But, oh yeah, they did announce they're doing a single player for Titanfall 2, and it looks interesting, because there seems to be this whole dynamic, because even though you're the player, there seems to be this whole thing about, like, perspective of the robot. The robot seems to be talking. That's really interesting. I do like that. I think there's a lot of potential there if they do it right. So next up, sport game. Of course, EA is known for sport game. This one is Hand Egg, or Madden 17, which, again, it's just building on top of the already existing Madden. Woo. I don't care. I don't like sport. If it's not obvious, I don't care for sport. And yeah, Hand Egg means nothing, really. I don't care. I cannot be bothered at all. They added, there's this whole new competitive modes, like they're doing this whole thing with all these, they're basically, I think they're doing, what was it, like $1 million tournament or something? They're basically just trying to profit off of competitive, which it makes sense, but yeah, I could honestly care less. I know they do sell well, because people do like sport game, but it doesn't appeal to me, especially because I don't like Hand Egg. It's just whatever. It really is. Next, Mass Effect Andromeda. I was really hoping we were going to get some gameplay. I'm not the biggest Mass Effect fan in the world. I know it disappointed everyone. I wish they'd, do, an HD of, the 3 games. That would be really interesting. Because I'd like to play them again. But I don't know if that'll happen or not. No, it does look interesting. I like the whole going to the Andromeda galaxy. It's a whole new... all these different planets. I think they had trailers, which I couldn't tell if they were pre-rendered or if they used in-game footage or not. I don't really know. But, or what I mean by in-game footage, it's the pre-rendered trailers that use game footage. I don't know. I have hopes. I was hoping for more, basically. I really was. They did this whole charity thing where it was 5 charities. They added new content to 5 or 6 games: FIFA, Madden, 2 of the Star Wars games, and probably Battlefield 4. That was pretty neat, actually. They were giving away $1 million. They're doing these missions to add awareness. I thought that was really cool. I like this whole charity aspect. It's I'd say it's EA trying to turn around their image, but I mean, like, it is kind of. But no, I thought that was pretty cool. I like how they're doing it, because they're spreading, like, awareness. Like, there was a lot, like, women in games. That was kind of one of the things. And yeah, I do think this is pretty cool. I do like that. That was one of the cooler things from this direct press event. And I do like how they're going back to already existing games. But yeah, so that's kind of where they're going from there. I don't really know. FIFA 17. There was this whole thing with, like, so they're updating the game, doing all that new stuff, yeah, like they do for Madden, just updating the graphics, adding in some new things. But there was this whole thing, they had, like, this Alex Hunter, and they were talking about, like, oh, dreams and journey. And there was this whole Alex Hunter thing, which was interesting. I will give it that. But I don't... Is it like... Are they adding in, like, a campaign-style thing? Where it's you can follow this person? Or is it going to be like, oh, you insert yourself and there's your campaigns, there's your ups and downs? I don't know. I feel like there's potential, but I have no idea where they're going to go with it. I honestly don't. The other thing they talked about was coaches? This whole... Oh, no, not coaches. I mean managers. And literally, I don't care. I don't know if anyone cared about that. Oh, woo, we're adding managers from the real-life teams. Woo, who cares? Who cares, really? I understand they're trying to give it personality, but again, ugh. There was this really odd where they had Peter Moore. No, that's his name, right? Peter Moore, and one of the managers, and it was so awkward. Like the conversation. It was scripted, but it was still very, like, stilted. It just that wasn't good. That really wasn't. EA Originals. So they're doing this whole indie program. You know, like, I know other companies do this, like, I think the Nindies, which are Nintendo's indies. I know a bunch of other companies do this, publishing. And yeah, EA's doing it as well. They did say all profits will go back to the developers, which... I don't know. It's cool if it is, but I kind of doubt it, you know what I mean? They showed off this game called Fey Iron. Obvious joke is obvious. I think it means fairy in, like, Swedish or Norwegian or maybe both. I don't know. But I think that it reminds me of Limbo. I mean, like, that's an obvious thing. But it also reminded me of The Witness in some ways. It's based around, like, sound. Like, there was, like, learning songs to gain allies. The enemies were, like... They were, like, the soundless or the speechless or something. I don't know. I think it looks interesting. I'm glad we actually... At first I was like... They were just showing screenshots, and I was like, are we only going to see these screenshots, or are you going to give us gameplay or something? But no, I am glad they gave us that. But no, I thought that was really interesting, to say the least. I usually when they do indie things, you expect, like, clips, and there really wasn't. I do like the art style as well. It was a lot of shadows, but again, it reminded me of Ori and the Blind Forest. So they talked about Battlefront, a new Battlefront in 2017, so they're going in, revamping Battlefront, going through fan suggestions. I know they're doing this whole Star Wars tale with, like, a new, like, retrospective or something to the story. That looks interesting. They say they're going to continue support on Battlefront, Knights of the Old Republic, and the Quest of Heroes things, which, yeah, that does make sense. I can see why they're doing it. They also Respawn's making a Star Wars adventure game. And again, there can be potential there. We did see like a little gameplay of something. I don't know exactly what that was from, but we did see something. At one point, you do see someone using like a VR headset. I don't know which. I think it may have been the PlayStation one, but I'm not entirely sure. It definitely wasn't the Vive. I know that. And that was in like you saw them like flying like an X-wing with it. I feel like there's some potential there. That could be really cool if done right. There, you can also I like some like the effect, like how like they blended in like the natural world with the Star Wars world. I thought some of that was really cool. Like you can see some of the passion these people have behind Star Wars and like how they want to put something good out. That was also really interesting. And last but not least, of course, Battlefield 1. Now, now, I know they did do a live sort of demonstration, like 64-player match. I didn't watch that because, yeah, I'm recording this right now. I may check that out later. But it looks in. I like how they're doing the whole World War One thing. The only other I can't think of another shooter that was World War One. I mean, like I know Black Ops 2 had that one level in World War One, but that's it. That's all I can think of. The trailer did look nice. I like the tanks. There was in like the motorcycle with the sidecar. I noticed that. Shooting the artillery, the planes. I really hope you can fly around in that Zeppelin. Like you can turn the Zeppelin. You can like shoot down. I really hope they do a lot with that Zeppelin. That would be really cool. I'd love to fly that Zeppelin. That or how like you see like them shoot down the Zeppelin and it like crashes and just I feel like the Zeppelin would be like this. How do I put it? Like tactical. Like you got to really put effort into shooting it down, but if you do it does like this giant damage on like the battlefield down below. It's kind of like the plane people up above can hurt the things down below. I like some of the buildings. They had this whole thing about like how like the battles will change every time. Like weather is going to be this unpredictable element, which I think is interesting because it is true. I mean, they talk about like, oh, we're going to have shovels in the game. You're going to be able to dig your own trenches. Well, they didn't. They said shovels. I don't know that. Okay, what? It's World War One trench warfare. If they do it right, it could be interesting. It could be keyword there. But yeah, I like the trailer for Battlefield 1. They saved it for the last, and yeah, it was probably the best. This conference was really interesting because it's the first one. It kicks off E3, and it kind of felt a little underwhelming. I mean, like, there was no live I mean, like, okay, there was the Battlefield 1 thing right after, but, like, during the conference, they didn't show off a single thing, like, live or anything like that. They really, I mean, like, there was gameplay, but, I kind of wish they had done that, but there's the Battlefield thing right afterwards, like I said. What else? But what I mean by underwhelming is, like, this started, like, last year, Bethesda started out E3, and they did this Fallout 4, right? That was the big thing. They also had Fallout, but who care? Well, I know some people do care, but whatever, right? That was how it started. That was how and yeah, they started with a bang. EA started out E3, and it was kind of meh. I mean, like, they must have spent half of that conference on the sports games. And I mean, like, I know that's EA's big money maker, and yeah, but I just couldn't care. I mean, I was mainly in it for, like, Star Wars and Battlefield. I did like I said, I like the indie stuff. I think that's really cool. The charity stuff was also pretty awesome. But, I don't know. I don't feel like they should have started off E3. I mean, like, if anything, it helps us with the expectations for the other shows. But still, I don't know. I mean, like, I did enjoy some things. I could care less about others. It was what I expected. I expected not to care about the sports games. I didn't. I expected to like Battlefront or Battlefield. I liked Battlefield. But yeah, that was EA. They started off and yeah, I mean, and I want you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned later tonight when we talk about when I give my thoughts on Bethesda. Until then, peace.